What I would prefer is that you should fix your eyes every day on the greatness of Athens as she really is, and should fall in love with her. Then reflect what made her great when men with the spirit of adventure, men who knew their duty, men who were ashamed to fall below a certain standard. If they ever failed in an enterprise, they made up their minds that at any rate the city should not find their courage lacking to her, and they gave to her the best contributions they could. The funeral oration of Pericles, quoted by Thucydides. Dominated to this day by the sprawling white marble complex of the Acropolis, Athens is a city which is immensely and rightly proud of its past. For a period of roughly 3 centuries, the polis of Athens stood, if not in a position of unchallenged supremacy among the cities of Hellas, then at the very least among its 3 most important polities. Its fledgling empire, though small by standards later set by Alexander or the Romans, or even by those of its ancient enemy Persia, nonetheless encompassed cities as far afield as Asia Minor and southern Italy, a remarkable feat considering such expansion was achieved by the inhabitants of a single city and its immediate surroundings, rather than by an entire nation. For much of its history, the Athenian navy was the single mightiest force in the Mediterranean, having defeated the overwhelming might of Persia in pitched battles upon the open seas numerous times. The Athenian army itself, though subordinate to its naval power, a sop to the fact that it was trade and empire building that made Athens rich, was nothing to be sneered at, as it succeeded in meting out a humiliating defeat to Darius's Persians at Marathon. Yet despite a martial tradition that, if taken as a whole, was second to none save the Spartans, Athens is chiefly remembered for 2 reasons: its political system, which would in time form the nucleus of all Western democratic systems of government, and the remarkable number of outstanding individuals which, during the golden age of Athens, lived and flourished in the enlightened city-state. In virtually all fields of human endeavor, Athens was so much at the forefront of dynamism and innovation that the products of its most brilliant minds remain not only influential, but entirely relevant to this day. In the field of medicine, the great physician Hippocrates not only advanced the practical knowledge of human anatomy and caregiving, but changed the entire face of the medical profession. The great philosophers of Athens, men like Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato, interrogated themselves with startling complexity about the nature of good and evil, questioned the existence of divinity, advocated intelligent design, and went so far as to argue that all life was composed of infinitesimal particles. Great architects and sculptors, such as Phidias, produced works of art of such breathtaking realism and startling dynamism that they later formed the driving force behind the resurgence of sculpture during the Renaissance and served as masters to artists such as Michelangelo, Bernini, and Donatello. When considering the ancient Greek philosophers and their contributions to civilization, it must be remembered that for them there was no separation of disciplines as we have them today. Philosophy was considered an attempt to understand the entire cosmos and not just a part of it. And so it was that every aspect of life and every observable thing might be considered under the umbrella of philosophy, including technology and art. Indeed, it was the ancient Greek philosophers who devised the very concept of technology. Techne, meaning art or craft knowledge, was conceived as an attempt to imitate the natural order. Plato in particular argued that the cosmos was created by the divine craftsman, or demiurge, according to external immaterial pre-existent forms, rather as an artist or engineer creates a work according to a blueprint. He argued that a craftsman imitates the demiurge and in so doing accomplishes something divine. To the ancient Greeks, the cosmos was ordered and harmonious. Consequently, reason and intellect were considered the architects of all art and craftsmanship. The absolute perfection of form was sought in everything, and the Greek passion for simplicity, elegance, harmony, and beauty is to be found everywhere, particularly in architecture. Ancient Greek technology, the history and legacy of the technological advances made in Greece during antiquity, looks at how Greek civilization developed and various technological advances that resulted. Along with pictures depicting important people, places, and events, you will learn about Greek technology like never before.